Hi, my name is Kevin Brodwick. I'm the founder of ThinkBaby and ThinkSport. Today I want to take a quick moment to dispel some of the myths surrounding sunscreen. So a couple of things to know. The first is around UVA and UVB. UVB, think B and UVB as burn. That's how you get the burn. And UVA is what causes the awful cancers. And so it's really important that when you're selecting a sunscreen, you're looking for one that is rated as broad spectrum, and it'll say on the front of the tube, broad spectrum for UVA and UVB. It's a specific type of test that you have to pass in order to make that type of claim. One of the things that most people don't realize is that UVA doesn't care what time of year it is. It's just as strong in January as it is in August. And in fact, if you look at some of the data in Washington State and Oregon State, there's some of the highest incidence of skin cancer there because folks don't usually use sunscreen in that part of the country, unfortunately. The other piece of the equation that's important to know is the SPF number. And there's a lot of confusion around SPF. And frankly, it's not the best way to determine the safety or efficacy of a sunscreen. As an example, SPF 30 covers 97% of the UVB spectrum. And so you might be surprised to learn that SPF 100 only covers 99%. So there's relatively very small difference between SPF 30 and SPF 50. And so we tell folks anything over SPF 30 is really what you're looking for. The next area of focus on sunscreen is really around water resistance. And so now the FDA has come out and said there's 3 classes of water resistance. The highest is called water resistant 80 minutes. The next is water resistant 40 minutes. And the third is not water resistant at all. So depending on the type of activity that you're partaking in will determine the level of water resistance that you need. We recommend the highest level of water resistance. There are some other factors that you really need to focus on in your sun safety regimen. And the first is if you're outside between the hours of 10 a.m. and 4 p.m., it's a great idea to seek out shade, whether that's under an umbrella or wearing hats and long sleeves. And then, of course, obviously applying sunscreen to any of your body parts that are exposed. But even there, a lot of people are very confused about how much sunscreen should I use. For the adult body, you're going to use 1 full ounce, and then you'll need to reapply every 2 hours. There are 2 classes of sunscreen. There are chemical sunscreens, and there are mineral sunscreens or physical blocks. Chemical sunscreens take the UV light, and they try to transfer it into something that's not harmful. Mineral sunscreens are physical blocks, like zinc oxide, take the sunlight, and they bounce it off of your skin. One of the biggest problems with sunscreen is that folks aren't applying enough. In fact, studies were showing that people are applying about 25% of the right amount of sunscreen. And for SPF 50, applying 25% actually yields a number that's close to SPF 3, so you're not getting very much protection. So it's a good idea when you apply sunscreen to apply the full 1 ounce of sunscreen to your body, and then you have to reapply every 2 hours. And if you miss the reapplication, the effectiveness drops immediately. So you may have caught recently a lot of conversation in the media around coral reef damage and the connection to sunscreen. And so they've created basically a list of sunscreens or chemicals within sunscreen that they know are causing harm. And it's everything from chemicals like oxybenzone, octocrylene, octinoxate, PABA, parabens, and phthalates. Really, it's a bunch of words that are really hard to pronounce. This has brought a lot of attention to mineral-based sunscreens, because the properties of these are natural and often biodegradable. More still needs to be done to test and make sure that, in fact, these ingredients are also safe for the environment. But because they're commonly found in the environment, most companies have made the jump to say that mineral sunscreens are also safe. There are a lot of resources out there that can help consumers guide towards safer solutions. One of them that we would really like to highlight is the Environmental Working Group, or EWG. Every year, they produce a sunscreen guide, and in that guide, you'll find a lot of the information actually that I've shared with you today, but it's a huge resource because you can absolutely type in an ingredient or a product and get the safety rating of that ingredient and product immediately. So it helps consumers get visibility into the products that they're putting in them, around them, and on them. As an additional resource, we invite you to come to our website, gothinkbaby.com and gothinksport.com. There you will find everything from our ingredients to our testing policies and chemical policies to how we go through the process of building products.